Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Ann Emanuel. 4 counties will be taking on a grant which will enhance all of the county's ability to respond during an emergency. Our Maggie Hall tells us the impact to our area.
The enhancement of the public safety communication systems will radiate through Steuben, Chemung, Schuyler, and Allegheny counties. The funds come from a New York State communications grant. The sum for our county specifically is $5.8 million. In 2022, when the communications grants were introduced by the state, Governor Kathy Hochul remarked that when our firefighters, police officers, EMTs, and paramedics respond to a crisis, they need a communication structure that allows them to communicate and coordinate effectively and efficiently. This funding builds on our previous efforts to modernize our public safety communication systems and will bolster effective emergency communication capabilities and infrastructure across the state. In a statement on the county's Facebook page, Steuben County announces the adoption of the grant. Part of the statement reads, "The communications funds will be used to facilitate the development, consolidation, improvement, sustainability, and maintenance of public safety communications in the 4 counties. The partnership between the 4 counties will allow higher effectiveness and efficiency for first responders working interoperably." Maggie Hall, Big Fox News, Steuben County.
An Elmira woman has been named a Woman of Distinction by the United States Senate. Nancy Kirby, a business owner, town supervisor in Caton, and a contract CFO, is heavily involved in community work throughout the Southern Tier. The Elmira native was presented with the award by Senator Tom O'Mara in Albany. The New York Department of Environmental Conservation is asking the public to be mindful of recycling tanglers. Items such as headphones, garden hoses, wires, cords, all tangle in the recycling plant machines. Recycling workers become exposed to the safety hazard and can spend up to 8 hours untangling the materials. You can visit the website on your screen for a full list of what can be recycled. The PGA Championship at Oak Hill in Rochester concluded on Sunday with a new star emerging. Big Fox's Josh Feldberg spoke with local PGA pros about the improbable story of Michael Block.
Every year at major sporting events, an underdog story seems to emerge. At this year's PGA Championship in Rochester, Michael Block, a PGA pro at Arroyo Trabuco Golf Club, won the hearts of the Western New York crowd with his amazing play. Block's story this weekend has shined some light on the world of local PGA pros and what it means to be one.
Again, we go through about a 5-year process of education. Depending on which direction you go, you can go through the PGA and do their education program, or there are 23 universities throughout the country that offer a professional golf management program, emphasis on golf, business degree whenever you graduate.
For opening or closing, we'll get here probably 5:30, 6 a.m. Like on a day like today, I got here at 6 a.m. and I'll probably be leaving here around 6:45 tonight. So it's pretty much, I'm here the entire day, but I might get to swing a golf club maybe 5 times.
Michael Block finished joint 15th at Oak Hill, which included a hole-in-one on the final day, which only added more to the historic run. For pros like Jeff Rupert and Ryan Clark, there is a sense of pride in seeing the improbable success of one of their own.
It kind of helps because a lot of people see us and they don't see us on the golf course. They see us behind the counter, they see us on the driving range giving a lesson or something like that. They don't really see that we're still decent players in our own right. Like I said, none of us are really to that level that Michael Block is. He's one of his own at that point, kind of, but we're all still pretty good players. But it's still gives us a lot of sense being okay. That's kind of our guy. That's who we're pulling for.
So there's very few guys that have that opportunity, and then once you get there, now you're competing against the best players, okay? And the reality is we are not PGA Tour professionals, we are PGA Club professionals, okay? So when we're in that environment, we understand, okay, these guys are a level above us, okay? But on a daily basis, we have people within our organization that can compete with those guys, yes, and you saw it from Michael Block.
Due to his success this weekend, Block has already been invited to more PGA Tour events and auto-qualified for the PGA Championship in 2024. Josh Feldberg, Big Fox News.
The picturesque Watkins Glen Gorge Trail is now open for the season. The New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation announced the opening this weekend. The popular hiking trail gains 400 feet in elevation as it winds over and under waterfalls. If you're interested in the hike, you're encouraged to wear hiking boots or sneakers. A local Corning Market Street.
Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Good evening. We are really starting to immerse ourselves in some of these summer-like conditions as the end of May has been ramping up. Even just looking at the last 5 days, running from the bit of the chill we had on Wednesday with only a high of 54 degrees. We had those lows that were record-breaking, and then we were climbing into those 70s all weekend long, keeping us very warm. Still battling some of those hazy skies. We even see that in Binghamton. Although the sky is blue, it does look like it almost has a little bit of some higher level cloud cover, and we see that into our Tuesday. Again, we're seeing more of that dense smoke working its way across much of the state of New York. Now, there's plumes going to be in place through much of the day, but you can see some decrease to that haze and that smoke, as that's going to be a frontal system that's going to be pushing it out. And that frontal system is going to bring us some changes. However, what we're first seeing set up for our Tuesday, as we saw, is going to be a hazy and milky sky. Now, it's going to be still a very warm day. With that heating that's in place, there is this weak disturbance in the upper atmosphere that is going to trigger maybe a few isolated rumbles of thunder into the afternoon hours. So keep yourself weather aware as those temperatures warm up, and we may want to try to get out and enjoy another beautiful day. But then as we head into Wednesday, that quickly gets shut off. We'll see that a frontal system is going to drop across the state. Again, looking at mostly afternoon, it is going to be a showery switch. That cold front slides in, brings some gusty winds, some showery weather, and then we'll push in some cooler air for the end of the work week. But we do quickly return back to some sunshine. A high pressure system will fill back in, and that's going to bring us some gradual warming, and that will be setting up perfect timing to bring us more seasonable or even above average conditions for Memorial Day weekend that is ahead. So first setting up as we head into our Tuesday, as mentioned, we have sunshine around, hazy sunshine, but then you can just see across central portions of New York, we do trigger a few of those isolated showers and thunderstorms, and that could be centered over the Elmira and Corning area. Not expecting anything severe, but a few of those storms could include that lightning and thunder risk, maybe a little bit of some smaller to larger hail and some gusty winds. So always keep yourself aware of that isolated risk, but it is going to be pretty minimal. And then starting Wednesday morning, that frontal system is draped across the Great Lakes here and will continue to march its way off towards the south, pushing out that smoke and bringing with it some of that showery weather. So through about 7 p.m. on Wednesday, we're expecting anywhere from about 1/10 of an inch upwards of 1/4 of an inch. So not a soaking pattern, but at least add some moisture to those soils as we'll dry it right back up with some sunshine to follow on that Thursday forecast. But through this trend here underneath that sunshine though, for both Tuesday and Wednesday morning, upper to mid 70s. So looking at summer-like conditions. Following that cold front, there's that push of that cooler air, 63 on Thursday. So not as cold as our cold air mass we were dealing with last week, but a little bit of an early spring chill. But we do make that gradual improvement as we do continue to stay underneath some sunshine into the early holiday weekend. We will have to keep an eye on the potential to bring in some of that showery weather though for the Memorial Day holiday.